I think the thing about these videos is I don't know if I'm about to say something profound or really stupid. Hi everybody, I'm Napzok. Welcome back to the Blathering Mailbag. This is the show where someone from our Blathering community asks me a question and I endeavor to answer it before the squirrels come down here to take the food I've put down for them. It's a living. This question today comes from Ethan. He says, not sure if this works for what you're looking for in questions, but here we go. Ethan, it does work. You don't worry about that. You let me decide. You just ask your questions. This is kind of embarrassing to ask about, but here we go. I don't have a lot of friends. There are a few guys I work with I think I could be good friends with, but long gone are the days of going up to a random kid on a playground and asking if they want to play, and I'm really out of practice when it comes to making friends. What do I do to try to make workplace acquaintances my friends? Any advice is appreciated. I think that's the key. Find out if they like G.I. Joe, Transformers, Star Wars, Star Trek, and then go from there. No? Is that not how it works? That's how it worked back in 1982 for me, and it worked in some very long-form friendships. Here's the thing, Ethan. I think this is a great question, and I don't think you should be embarrassed about it. But I think the fact that you might feel a little embarrassment about it is part of the problem, not with you, but with society. And yes, I might be speaking about the male loneliness epidemic, but I do not want to be another boring straight white male with a beard on camera with a microphone talking about the male loneliness epidemic. We'll leave that for another time. But it's true, right? We are an emotional prison of our own making. Thanks, men. Thanks for building up patriarchy and then just refusing to analyze what it's done to everyone, including us. But we press on. Yeah, it is not easy. It's not easy. And I think that's the first thing. You realize in feeling alone, you're not alone. I think we all go through this, right? At times in my life, I've been really good at making friends. At times in my life, I've been really good at losing friends. And at other times in my life, I've been really good at cutting friends out, which is another conversation. I also like the idea that we're turning finding friendships into dating. And I actually don't think that's a hacky joke. I think it's the same principle. We're human beings trying to find connection. All right, even if it's on a friendly level, on a platonic level, I think it's the same thing. So I propose, this has nothing to do with your question, Ethan, but I do propose that we create a friendship app where you can just fill out a profile and put some profile pictures, put your hobbies and interests, like Star Wars, talks to 4 squirrels daily. What's going on out there? You being grouchy? Are you being grouchy? And just put it out there and see if people want to be friends with you. Swipe right to form a lifelong pal. I think that could work. I actually think let's trademark that. Let's workshop it and trademark it. Yeah, I think that could work. I'm trying to think, honestly, Ethan, the times in my life in which I've formed friendships. I think one of the first things, I'll say this. It just came to me. I think one of the first things we all have to learn is we don't have to be friends with everybody. I think that sometimes puts pressure on the situations. Not everyone is destined to be a great influence on your life, or you're not destined to have a great influence on their life. Sometimes we are just all ships passing in the night. And sometimes you like the ships, and sometimes you like having a beer with the ships. And sometimes when you see those ships at a comedy show or a workplace picnic, do they still have workplace picnics? I haven't been to one of those in decades. The 3-legged race thing and everything. No? Okay. Anyone want a 3-legged race with me? I think it's okay to kind of put some people in those categories. And then if you allow yourself to interact with those people without the pressures of I need to form friendships, then maybe you'll actually form some good friendships. Obviously, you want to look for things that shared interests. Maybe you hate the same coworkers. Maybe you hate the same football teams. Maybe you hate the same Star Wars characters. I don't know. Find the common ground. But once you find that person or people, then I think it is on you a little bit. It's on us as adults to put the effort in and make the investment. I think it was a lot easier when you're a kid on the playground. Hey, you like G.I. Joe? I like G.I. Joe. Friends for life. It's not that easy now because now you have responsibilities. In your case, Ethan, I believe you have a family. I believe, obviously, you have a job. What's that like? Please tell me on both counts. You have things to do. And the idea of just sitting at home with your feet up for an hour before you go to sleep, after all the kids are in bed, after the workday is done, that's something that's pretty valuable and you should hold on to. And a friend could take that away. And speaking from experience, there are a lot of times where people have come into my life and there's that You're on the verge of maybe a larger friendship, and you enjoy them, but you're also like, I don't know, I think I'd rather stay home tonight. And that's okay. But I think to form some of these friendships, you have to be willing to make the investment. Put it out there and make the choice to connect. I'll tell you an actual true story. This actually happened to me recently. In April, I was going through some changes in my life. I was feeling pretty down, so I was going for walks in my neighborhood, as I am wont to do. And was I crying in public? Yeah, I absolutely was crying in public, but I had sunglasses on, and you couldn't tell. And I don't wear those just to look like I'm a cool member of Oasis. I wear them to hide the tears. And now the tears are mostly because I, one of the biggest Oasis fans in the world, couldn't afford to go see them in L.A., but everyone else did. I'm not bitter. It's good. I'm glad you had a good time. And I'm out for a walk, and I see someone I knew, an acquaintance from the comedy world, someone I enjoyed, someone I had worked with before, someone I hadn't seen in years, and now they lived in my neighborhood. And I passed him, and he passed me, and we both walked maybe 10 yards each in the opposite direction. And I remember actually thinking to myself, wait a minute, that was Jason. Turn around and talk to Jason. And as I turned around, he had turned around with the same thought in his head. Hey, isn't that Ken? We hadn't seen each other in a long time. Quick fist bump, hug, how you doing, checking in. We both kind of realized we've been going through some of the same things. And I was honest with him. Yeah, I'm out here kind of feeling sad. I'm kind of down because of this stuff. And he was like, I just went through that myself. Hey, we should hang out sometime. And that's the rub, right? That's the moment where I think we as human beings, no matter who you are, when you're about to make a deeper connection, you have to decide to move forward with it. Because, yeah, we should go have lunch. Yeah, we should go have coffee. Yeah, we should go for a walk sometimes. Let's do a hike. Let's catch a show. Let's hang out. I think it's always said with good intentions. I've never faked that. I've always thought, hey, that's a good idea. This person I'm talking to, I'd like to go do that. But that's not how life works. Time goes on, and you choose not to invest in them, and maybe vice versa. So he said that. Hey, let's go for a walk. I'm always out here walking. We should do this together, talk about life. Okay, that's great. And then I walked away and thought that was fun, and then I just kind of forgot about it, and I didn't invest in the moment anymore beyond that. But he did. He texted me a couple times. Hey, I'm going for a walk tomorrow. You want to join me? And I made my excuses. Hey, I'm going for a walk tomorrow. You want to join me? And I made my excuses again. And then finally I decided, no, I'm going to invest in him. I'm going to see where this takes us. And here we are, a few months later, and we've become actually really good friends. Important friends. Not only do we have some good walks where we get some exercise in, but we have some wonderful talks, some wonderful therapeutic conversations that have helped both of us. We're friends now. And I think that only happened because first he made the effort with me, and I finally woke up and invested in him. On the days we walk, I have to wake up early. Oh, God, I hate waking up early. On the days we walk, I have to put aside 2 hours because we go for long walks. Am I a hero? Are we both studs? Are we conquering the walking world? Yes, yes, and yes. But we did it. We invested in each other, and it's paid off. Which sounds like I'm peddling some sort of crypto, but I'm just peddling connection, human connection. It's not easy, and don't be afraid if it doesn't always work out. And don't be embarrassed, Ethan. That crow's not embarrassed. But the next time you find yourself thinking, I think I could be friends with that guy, put it out there. Just like you're asking out someone to the junior high dance. It's hard. It's a bit of a personal sacrifice, and you have to be vulnerable. But I think you'll find when the situation's right, when the friendship's right, they'll invest back in you, and you can invest in them. Then you can stay up all night playing video games. You can get bags of potato chips and Dr. Pepper and play GoldenEye and the Nintendo 64. Oh, you're going to have a great time. You're going to have a great time. Thanks for the question, Ethan. If anyone else out there has a question, join over at Patreon, become a YouTube channel member. Let me know. Reach out and ask a question. I don't have the answers, but I do have the time for you. By the way, I want to acknowledge that I'm wearing this weird bracelet. I normally don't do things like this, but I was in Las Vegas and one of those sidewalk monks kind of put it on me. I mean, actually in a weird way kind of forced it on me, and I was trying to take it off because I didn't have cash to donate to him, but then he was like, hey, here's my Venmo, and I was like, okay, maybe I should do this to help you out. And he's like, no, for you. It's going to bring you fortune and good luck. And I was like, absolutely. Here's $5, and I'll take the plastic bracelet. Anyways, I did not win any money in Vegas, and in fact wish I still had that $5. So don't judge me. See you next time.